Netflix posted on its page, "To my white friends, guilt, shame, embarrassment." Netflix also said on May 30th, "To be silent is to be complicit."
I hope that wouldn't happen again.
They were ripping out the quotables, huh? The slogans. It's crazy how the times change, right? They're only regretful because they are realizing how unpopular that is now. If they could see in the future how people would respond, they would have never tweeted it. It's not out of principle. It's just out of, favoritism. The woke people eat themselves yet again. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos was just grilled in a Senate hearing yesterday by Senator Josh Hawley, who we've looked at before on the channel, specifically when he grilled the CEOs of both Visa and MasterCard for their duopoly on payment processing. So I like the guy. Or I should say I like his highlights. I don't really know much about him, but when he goes after the bad guys, I like it. So anyway, he basically took this Netflix CEO and put him on blast for not putting Americans first, particularly the workers involved in the Netflix operation, and also the content that is being shown to kids on Netflix. Apparently, it's pushing a pretty bad agenda that parents have to keep an eye on. And if you enjoy looking at this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are 20,000 subscribers away from dethroning Michelle Obama, and I post 3 videos a goddamn day, so yeah, if you want to help me out, like and subscribe. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Senator Shipp. Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this hearing. Welcome to the witnesses. Mr. Sarandos, if I could just start with you, let's continue to talk a little bit about the labor impacts here, if we could. How many U.S.-based employees does Netflix currently employ, do you know?
About 10,000.
Yeah, what about in production roles?
Well, it's a fluid number, but we've had about 155,000 production jobs.
How about now?
On our originals. At any given time, I don't know the number exactly, sir. I can follow back with your staff, though.
Warner Brothers, how many?
Can I just say, Netflix originals suck balls. I'll be the first to say it. The only reason I ever paid for Netflix, I don't pay for it currently, was to watch Breaking Bad, and I think I saw The Wolf of Wall Street a few times on there whenever it would be in cycle, because that's another thing. They have, movies come and go, so it'll be on the platform for a month and then not be on for a month. It's kind of annoying, so you kind of have to, time your subscription to maximize the value. Very silly, but the originals are not very good. If ever I'm looking for a movie on Netflix and I see the Netflix original logo stamped on it, I know that it's probably going to not be good. But if it gets more people jobs in the U.S., then sure, I guess that's nice.
How many U.S. production jobs?
I don't have the exact number, but it would be, I would think, in the 8,000 range.
Okay. Here's my question. If this merger goes through, what's your projection about the amount of domestic production, say 2 years from now? Is it going to be static? Is it going to decline?
Well, even if it goes up, because if they merge with Warner Brothers and the Netflix originals somehow become good, it's will that be enough to save Netflix? I believe Netflix as a model sucks because you're paying however much you're paying a month for one TV because they monitor how many times you've logged into your account, which means if you have a family, you have to buy in some cases 2 Netflix subscriptions. And also, I just don't think that for what you can get on other platforms, Netflix even it stands up to the task. The Apple originals are way better. If you are interested in paying for a subscription service, first of all, you're kind of retarded. Piracy is out there. I'm not advocating for it, but it takes 2 more seconds to get the shit for free. Number 2, Apple originals are actually good, okay? Severance was one of the best shows I've ever watched. Apparently Pluribus is good. We Crashed was a mini series. I'm not here to glaze Apple, but they've done a surprisingly good job making original content, whereas Netflix, which is a, not company that makes also iPhones, is doing a lackluster job, in my opinion.
Our production is going to increase.
Domestic production.
Obviously.
Domestic production
Employment.
is going to increase. Most of our production is domestic, and it will continue to increase. We've recently forecast our content spend, independent of this deal, to grow to $20 billion. That's a combination of licensing, producing. Now, those licensing dollars compel production.
$20 billion on dog shit. Wow.
Let me show you the data here about U.S. production recently.
Huh.
It's the red line here starting from in 2021. You can see it is pretty much straight downward.
Los Angeles shoot days, the big picture, so they're just not making the shows in L.A. anymore?
There's been massive shift in production, as I think as Senator Schiff was alluding to just a moment ago, massive shift in production overseas to other foreign jurisdictions, leaving the United States.
Interesting.
So will you commit to increasing domestic United States production and domestic United States production jobs? Did I hear you just say you would?
Senator Hawley, absolutely. It's in our business plan. It's in our long-term operating DNA. I will point out, sir, respectfully, that chart is Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it is Los Angeles, but if you look at the data, it is reflective. This reflects all of U.S. production. U.S. production is not going up, right?
But some of these jobs have moved.
It's going down.
Some of these jobs have moved to
Yeah, but the overall numbers are going down, and this is exactly the concern of labor. And without objection, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into a statement for the record from the Teamsters, who have major concerns about this deal, as does, frankly, pretty much every segment of labor, Mr. Sarandos. And what they all say is they're worried that you're going to cut residuals, which is effectively payments. You're going to cut production jobs. So let's just go through a few commitments here. Will you commit to using union labor for all domestic shoots?
We do use union labor.
Will you commit to using it in the future for all of your domestic shoots if this deal goes through?
Senator Hawley, we do use, this is the most unionized industry in America, and we use union labor on all our production.
And
Well, because you had the big strikes, right?
you're going forward. I'm looking for a commitment.
You have my commitment.
Will you commit to a 45-day or longer theatrical release window for major Warner Brothers films?
Senator Hawley, I just said that I would do that under oath, so yes.
Good. And will you commit to fairly compensating your workers in the industry with residual payments?
Well, our top of market payment has been Netflix business philosophy since we started operating over 25 years
listen,
ago.
what you have been routinely accused of compressing and reducing residuals, it's one of the biggest objections to labor to this deal.
Ooh.
So let's see if you can lay that to rest today. Will you commit to
Probably
full
not.
residuals?
Senator Hawley, I would like to tell you this is a very complicated answer because we prepay.
That's usually on the way to no. That's usually a way of saying no. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for yes.
Senator Hawley, I understand this is not a yes or
The problem is, even if he says yes, there's kind of no accountability structure in place to make sure that yes means anything, right? So you can kind of come up here as a person with power and say whatever bullshit you think, the hearing wants to hear, and then just walk away, right? I mean, obviously it's under oath, so that matters, that carries some weight, but I do feel like there have been times, I can't think off the top of my head, but I've seen plenty of these hearings where the people have just lied, like they just clearly lie, and it doesn't seem like anything gets done.
no answer.
It kind of is, though.
It kind of isn't because, and we were going to sit down with the unions.
You're disappointing me.
Starting in the next few days, sir, we're sitting down with the unions for new contract talks that start actually in 3 days.
That's a complicated, long no. I would really hope it would be yes.
Okay. Are you asking me to commit to residuals in the traditional form? Because I don't think that applies in many cases. That's why I'm getting there.
All right. Well, I think you've got some work to do on that, Mr. Sarandos, and I would hope that you'd reconsider your position before my time expires. I want to ask about something else related to children. Why is it that so much of Netflix content for children promotes a transgender ideology?
Man.
Almost half of your content for children, I'm talking about minor children now, I'm not talking about teenagers, minor children, promotes a transgender ideology agenda. I was just looking at the data here from your various series. And what concerns me is I'll
tell you that when I was younger, all my parents had to do was put on Cartoon Network, and that was it. Cartoon Network, everything was fine. You didn't have to worry about this stuff. And it's sad because you legit have to worry as a parent about what your kids are watching, whether that would be on YouTube Shorts, whether that would be on Netflix. The stuff that you would think is safe, like Netflix, it's Netflix. It's not just Netflix anymore, my friend. There's a lot more shit in there that you probably wouldn't expect. So it's quite sad. And, I think there's a lot of false accountability that gets put on the parents. Like it should be on them to watch every episode before showing it to their kids. I don't think that should be the expectation. It's not the parents' job to screen the content. Like there should be, an expectation that Netflix isn't showing propaganda to infant children. You know what I mean? It's not like my job to look for it and detect it, or having to go on Facebook and ask other parents if this show is greenlit. Like they should just not be comfortable doing this in the first place.
2 days ago, a jury in New York awarded a former transitioner $2 million because she said that her psychologists and others pressured her they pushed on her an ideology that proved to be extremely detrimental. I'm sure you know that in the UK, the National Health Service in the UK has said that they're not going to perform transgender surgeries.
The thing that's so crazy, and I had this was a bit of a shower thought of mine recently, right? If you're a girl and you go to the doctor and you ask for testosterone, you're more likely to get it than if you're a guy that goes to a doctor and asks for testosterone. It's a bit of an anecdote, but if you think about it, like imagine I go to the doctor, hey, can I have test? I want to inject it. No. If I was a chick and I said, hey, I think I'm a dude, I want test, I want to inject it, they're like, okay, you know what? We can get there. It's like, what? I don't know. There's a lot wrong with the world, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, man, Netflix, they need to stop edging people in this direction with their shows. So, yeah, I mean, this needs to stop immediately. Also, you know how they say in the average male, there's like a credit card's worth of plastic in the balls? What if there's like no plastic in all of our balls, except there's one guy who has 25,000 pounds of plastic in his balls? So when you average it out, it's like each guy has one credit card's worth. Anyway, that was completely unrelated. It was another shower thought I had recently.
Or any longer so-called gender-affirming care for minors, including in counseling, because it is so incredibly detrimental. Our own HHS has come forward with similar findings this past year, yet if you turn on Netflix, you'll find that an enormous amount, and I say this as a parent with 3 young children, an enormous amount of your children's programming has this ideology and agenda in it.
Is this dude asleep, by the way? Was he bored? Bro, go home, take a nap, you need it.
Is this an advocacy position for Netflix? Is this an ideological
good question
you have? I mean, why is this?
Senator Hawley, Netflix has no political agenda of any kind. I would tell you that.
Well, then why is your children's program so full of this highly sexualized, highly controversial agenda? I don't understand it. It seems strange to me.
Respectfully, sir, it's because it's inaccurate. We have millions of hours of children's programming.
You're saying it's not there. You don't have trans. You don't feature trans characters, trans storylines, trans themes. It's not in your programming.
I'm saying we feature a wide
So he just denies it outright? I mean, brother, the proof is in the pudding.
variety of stories and programs to meet a wide variety of people's tastes.
Why is almost half of it? Why does almost half of your children's program feature this highly controversial, highly sexualized material? That just seems strange to me. It can't possibly be a reflection of the population.
Senator Hawley, I don't have any idea where that number would come from or what that would be. I don't believe that's been your personal experience, but I can't speak to that.
Well, what do you mean you don't think it's been my personal experience? You don't think that I monitor what my children watch on your... Here's what I tell you what my personal experience is since you bring it up. My personal experience is that my 3 children, I can't let them watch anything they want on Netflix. I can't let them watch anything on Netflix unless I preview it because I don't have...
And this isn't helicopter parenting, by the way. I feel like there's so much often, there's a rebuttal that it's the parents that are ultra paranoid about what their kids are watching, that they have like this woke paranoia of everything being woke, when I think maybe that's true, but it's true for a reason. It's like it exists because there is a lot to be paranoid about. Like you didn't have to worry, about it was Thomas the Tank Engine inserting LGBTQ themes into its programming, whenever that was airing on TV. You just didn't have to worry about it. It wasn't happening. It certainly wasn't happening to the extent that it's happening on Netflix now.
Confidence in what's on your platform. I don't know what they're going to encounter.
The issue is, here's what will happen, is you'll have a group of people that deny this is happening outright, like the CEO. He's saying this isn't happening, right? But then you'll have a group of people that will deny it at first, and when you prove them wrong, when you say that yes, it's happening, and they eventually say, okay, it's happening, they will then go and say, no, but it's good. So we went from it's not happening to it's happening and it's good. So it's like, okay, we're going to defend it regardless of if it's happening or not. Let's just start there,
And I tell you what, I don't want my kids being pushed an agenda about their sexuality or gender identity when I have not had the opportunity first to discuss it with them.
Yeah.
And to form them in that. And I, frankly, on behalf of parents around the country, it offends me that Netflix is pushing this content at parents in what seems to be a very coordinated, thought-through, planned-out agenda in a way that, frankly, I think undermines parents, certainly undermines me and my wife. We have to watch every show beforehand before we can let our kids watch it.
Man.
Now, I don't know. That seems pretty concerning to me. I know you make a gob of money on it, and maybe that's the answer. But it just seems to me that it's a disservice to the parents of this country, particularly given what's happening with our youth on this subject.
I also think it's so lazy. Like, all this shit is the same. It's like, I'm different. I get bullied because I'm different. And then eventually the bully gets, like, educated into not bullying the different person. Oh, I guess we're all different, but different in this context means, like, non-binary, right? I get bullied because I'm non-binary. That shouldn't happen. Oh, I'm sorry. I just learned what that means. I won't do it again. It's like a lazy fucking plot. You know what I mean?
So I don't know if I may answer. Like I said, we have millions of hours of content on Netflix at any given time. We have state-of-the-art tools for you to manage those choices for your children and to block any title that you might be offended by.
It's that
for
easy.
Any reason.
It's that easy.
So this is we are parents and
again, you can say that, yeah, the content can easily be blocked. Well, then why even have it on there if you know people are going to want to block it? Like, if you know that no parent wants their kid watching this dog shit, maybe you don't introduce more tools that where they have to manually go and block it. Just don't release it. Like, actually, or sell off the rights to it to some other distributor, right? If you make a Netflix original and no one wants it on Netflix, I guess just put it somewhere else. Put it on the gay retard channel and sell it to them. They'll buy it. Like, literally. Oh,
Netflix
man.
as well. We share all your concerns about raising kids and also the ability to raise them as you see fit in your household and anyone else's household as well.
This is not true at all, by the way. Like, they don't give a shit.
My concern is that you don't share my values or those of many other American parents, and you want the United States government to allow you to become one of the largest, if not the largest, streaming monopolist in the world.
It's also way too expensive. Just pirate the shit at this point, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter, but even, like, you look at the state of where the film industry is, and I don't see a subscription to a film service as necessary right now, you know? Like, we're not getting peak anymore. So, yeah, that's part one. We've also got this one. Schmidt confronts Sandros over Netflix making the wokest content in the history of the world. So, yeah, he's getting put on blast again by someone else here.
Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Sarandos, you are currently the co-CEO of Netflix. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. And until recently, you were the chief content officer. Is that correct?
It's been a couple years now, yeah, but yes.
Okay.
Chief content officer. I wonder what that means.
Do you think Netflix is a powerful company?
We're a successful company.
Okay. I think it's pretty powerful. That's probably why we're here today, right, to judge whether or not it becomes anti-competitive in some particular way because of the power that it wields. You just said a moment ago that Netflix does not have a political agenda. Do you think Netflix is a politically biased company?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Would it surprise you if I told you that what percentage of donations from Netflix employees and other folks affiliated with Netflix go to Republicans versus Democrats, you think?
I saw a number published a while ago. It's very high Democrat.
Like 99%?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. That seems pretty high. Do you think that indicates any kind of bias by the company?
Sir, Netflix doesn't have a political giving arm. It does not.
Well, if the people working at the company all share the same exact ideology, wouldn't that seep its way into the content, don't you think?
We don't have an active PAC. We don't influence our employees to do anything, and our employees can support issues and candidates at their will.
Okay. On June 20th, 2020, on its X page, Netflix posted a video titled, quote, "To my white friends, guilt, shame, embarrassment," end quote, and saying, quote, "We need to do everything in our power to amplify that message." Do you stand by that statement?
I have no recall of that statement at all.
Okay, I just read it to you. Do you have an opinion about it?
I don't have any idea what context it's in or anything. It
okay.
sounds,
in the wake
like
in the wake of the George Floyd riots,
oh,
on June
no.
20th.
This is not going to be good. A lot of companies were talking out of their ass after George Floyd died. A lot of companies were talking about how evil white people are. And I don't think that's going to age very well. If we have the receipts, I'd love to see them.
Netflix posted on its page, "To my white friends, guilt, shame, embarrassment." What does that mean?
I think that is an uncharacteristic post that I'm deeply regret if that got posted that way.
Okay, well, it did. Netflix also said on May 30th, "To be silent is to be complicit."
They were ripping out the quotables, huh? The slogans. Silence is violence, they said. Really? What the fuck are you talking about, Netflix? Silence is violence. Shut the fuck up, literally. This is so stupid. You know what's interesting, right? Silence is violence is the very slogan that the people who protested Netflix, who worked there, used to justify their protests whenever it was, what was the guy? Dave Chappelle got his comedy special that they said was transphobic. So the woke people eat themselves yet again. They eat their own.
Okay. I was just reading you some things that Netflix posted at the time.
Yeah.
So you don't stand by that statement then?
As I said, sir, we have no political agenda. Posting something like that would be quite political, but
Right. I would agree.
Yes.
I would agree with you there.
And I would say, I hope that wouldn't happen again.
Okay.
It's crazy how the times change, right? They're only regretful because they are realizing how unpopular that is now, basically, right? If they could see in the future how people would respond, they would have never tweeted it. So it's not out of principle. It's just out of, favoritism and popularity.
Netflix also said on June 10th, 2020, that to implement the BLM, the Black Lives Matter agenda, Netflix understood, quote, that our commitment to true systemic change will take time. Do you still think that takes time? Are you still actively engaged in this effort?
Again, sir,
They're just as bad at fighting racism than they are at making good shows. They just suck at everything.
we're not engaged in political efforts like that.
Okay. Any longer? You're not. You were, but you're not now.
I'm
Man,
I can't
that's
think
good.
of a period of time.
Okay.
I think
He's shitting himself.
the time you're talking about was quite a volatile time for many
I
companies.
think a lot of people said things they regret. Then I'm just trying to figure out if they actually regret it or not. I'm not going to get into your quotes on DEI, but it seems that both you and Netflix both have made a habit.
It's interesting how the cancel culture of picking people's old tweets apart to ruin their careers is now coming back to bite the very people who invented that behavior.
Of promoting DEI and wokeness. I'll just give a few examples. Netflix content is synonymous for the modern phenomenon of race swapping, both historical and real and fictional characters. Just a few examples. Netflix made Black Vikings. Netflix changed Cleopatra from Macedonian to black. Achilles changed from Greek to black. Netflix overtly sexualizes children in its Cuties film related to preteen girls.
You guys remember Cuties? Anyone, does that ring a bell? The movie where underage girls were sexualized on camera, and this was put on Netflix. Anyone remember that, or did we just all forget about fucking Cuties? I don't know, I never forgot.
I mentioned earlier that you can block for titles. I'm not sure blocking the word Cuties would shield kids from the over-sexualized content in Cuties. So I'm not sure that's sufficient enough. Netflix continues to push sexual and gender theory on kids, and maybe this is what was being referred to earlier. 41% of G-rated, kid-approved series contain LGBTQIA+ content.
The issue is you can't block it if you don't know what it is. You can't block a bunch of shows and series just by guessing. It's 40% of the shows, and you don't even know half the names of them. You'd have to find a master list of all the names and manually go and block them one by one, which is not easy or really practical for most people.
You are the co-CEO. You were the chief content officer until recently. Yes or no? Does Netflix stand by its content production decisions?
Senator Schmidt, we have a great deal of programming on Netflix for all left, right, and center. We have state-of-the-art tools for parents to...
Which side of the political aisle is the child exploitation movie Cuties? I don't really know which side that's supposed to pander to. Maybe all of them? I don't know. None of them?
manage what their kids see on Netflix. You can block anything. What you just described is exactly how it works. You block that title. No,
but why would I block Cuties? What would, if a G-rated movie came out called Cuties, why would I have any belief as a parent that would be related to over-sexualized kids?
That film you're speaking of is a MA-rated adult movie for adults, not for kids. And the point, the larger point, sir,
Weird
is that
thing to know off
of all
the top of
American
your
values that we all share. And I understand parenthood is hard. I understand it's a difficult world that we all navigate. But the one we value a lot is the First Amendment. A lot of that is freedom of speech.
I get it.
Here
What
we
I
go.
want to do is give creators a place to tell their
Freedom of speech, freedom to groom your children with propaganda in our shows. It's never been about speech. It's never been about freedom of speech, by the way. Freedom of speech is a tool that they will use opportunistically to propagandize, right? It's only freedom to utilize my propaganda when I want to, but it's not your freedom to say anything that I disagree with, because because we will throw a tantrum about it. God, fuck off, dude.
Stories and parents a place to control.
I have no problem with a wide variety of content. That's not the issue. This is America. But I guess the point I'm making is that your company has made overtly political statements, has moved an agenda of DEI. You have Susan Rice on your board, the founder of sort of Barack Obama's DEI agenda.
Is that true? Susan Rice is on the board of Netflix? Who the fuck is Susan Rice? Interesting.
99% of your employees contribute to Democrats to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. Your content's over-sexualized for kids. You're engaged in this very woke programming, overwhelmingly. You do have some other options, but overwhelmingly. So the question before this committee, and you come before Congress, why in the world would we give a seal of approval or a thumbs up to make you the largest behemoth on the planet related to content? It seems as though you have engaged in creating not only a monopoly of content potentially, but the wokest content in the history of the world.
This is the thing, and good rants. I don't know if it's even just the stuff that's all particularly aimed to be propaganda, but there's a lot of stuff that's just slop. For instance, the show Love Island is a show where a bunch of like hot men and women are on an island and they talk for like 5 seconds before hooking up with each other. Now, this show is available on Netflix, and it's not like a politically charged show, but it's just mind-melting garbage. Like, even if you're old enough to watch this stuff, this is a waste of your life. You need to not ever watch this stuff. It will melt your brain. Whatever they were saying SpongeBob would do to kids in the 90s is what this shit's doing to people now. It's liquefying their brains, especially I feel like the women who you know, like teenage girls who watch Netflix, what are they watching? Euphoria, you know, this stuff. It's actual slop garbage. And people want to say that I make slop. I don't make that kind of slop, okay? My slop is highbrow. At least maybe you're learning something. You get nothing if you watch that. It's like they hate you. Like, they literally think of you as cattle. Like, you're a pig for watching that stuff.
So forgive me if I'm a little concerned, not only as a parent, but also that somebody believes that we ought to have a wide variety of content options. There are some, but the overwhelming majority of your stuff right now is overwhelmingly woke. And it's not reflective of what the American people want to see.
So respectfully, if you ask a Netflix member today, or a consumer today generally, how they view Netflix, I think that a proof point that we might be doing the right thing is they talk about Netflix in the exact same terms as they talk about the country. About 40% conservative, about 40% liberal, and about 20% don't know. You can look for and you can search for a character, an image. Or
but that's not what it is. Those are not the statistics I gave you.
I don't know what those statistics.
Yeah, this dumbass literally is saying it's the same thing as the rest of the country when 99% of the people working at his company are giving to Democrats. Is this guy high on pot noose?
40% of your content for G-rated stuff has LGBTQIA themes.
So I respectfully don't know how they
we're happy to follow up, and I'd love to get a response.
I'd love to engage with your staff to figure out how they
love to continue the conversation. Thank you.
Well, that's that. He pretty much just torched the guy. I don't know. Was this better than the Josh Hawley one? What do you guys think? I don't subscribe to Netflix currently because I'm kind of I'm broken. Spotify is the only thing I really need. Spotify, YouTube Premium. That's about it. So I have no need for Netflix at the moment. But if there's any good shows out there to even watch anymore, let me know in the comments. I'm looking for something new. I might start Succession. I've heard that's good. I really liked Severance. And yeah, I don't know. I don't watch that many shows these days. I'm interested though in watching shows because you know how cooked society is? When I'm not scrolling Instagram Reels and I'm actually sitting down and watching intentional programming, it feels like I'm doing something productive. Like watching TV feels productive now. That's how fried my brain is. And I'm not the only one who thinks this way. I promise you. You ask somebody, going to the movies or sitting down to watch a film, that's like actual, it feels productive. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this all down in the comments below. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Like I said, we're here to beat Michelle Obama in sub count. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you didn't, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.